Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Deskies. I'm Melissa.
I am... What's my name again?
Jeff. This is Jeffrey.
That's what I've been told.
Apparently he needs some help today, so I'm here to remind you. It's Jeff.
Wow.
So, in this episode we're going to talk about, I guess, books.
Books are good.
Yeah, I like books.
Books have words.
Sometimes too many words.
Yeah.
Like...
Fuck that.
Yeah, I like books, but it's like... I'll read like 2 books, and then I won't pick up a book for 3 years. So... I haven't read like a crap ton or anything super new.
Last book I read was the Necronomicon.
Okay. When I do read, I enjoy it. I do truly like it. It's
That's movie Evil Dead.
Mm-hmm. There's a book?
Necronomicon. I have it.
Oh, okay. That's interesting.
Yeah.
The last book I read and completed was Propaganda by Edward Bernays. He's the nephew of Sigmund Freud.
Oh, Freud.
He's the godfather of propaganda, as it is, and it's very interesting. He basically breaks down how it's used in every form of life, every business, it's very interesting. It's kind of scary, but
that kind of reminds me.
When you know what it is, you can see it for what it is.
Like I told you about this like I think a month ago. I don't know if you remember, but there's a movie. I have it over there. They Live.
Okay.
It's aliens, but it's kind of like aliens controlling us through marketing and propaganda and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the arrestor Roddy Piper, who just passed away. He starred in it, and he had these special glasses where he could put them on and he could see like the aliens and their subliminal messages and stuff. It was awesome.
Yep, you were talking about that.
Has the best line, I think, in him. It's one of my favorite lines, at least.
Yeah.
I've come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass, and I am all out of bubblegum.
Yep. I've seen that quote many times, and I was like, that's a good quote. I didn't know where it was from, but it was a movie.
It's a great quote.
That is. That's pretty fun.
I use it all the time at work.
Mm-hmm.
They don't appreciate it. Well, actually, I have an interesting relationship with books in the sense that I don't read a lot anymore. Like, when I was in school, I took 5 years worth of English classes in 4 years. Mm-hmm. I went to college. I took a majority of English and psychology classes, which kind of goes along with your Freud book a little bit. So I was a little booked out. I had to read quite a few books and quite a few different things for school. So, like, I read, but I read a lot of, like, internet articles, and I read kind of what I want to here and there. I think the last book I read for fun, so to speak, and it wasn't even for fun, I think it was for a book report, was The Hobbit.
Yeah, I had a teacher, Mr. Damerel, read that to the class, and that was a good book. That was cool.
See,
I remember really enjoying it.
I don't even think I finished it, and I had to do a book report on it. So this is terrible to admit. I used to do this a lot, because we'd get a lot of assignments at school, especially me, because I didn't really have a lot of electives, because I took a lot of classes instead. And they like to give you busy work, which I freaking hated busy work. I had one teacher,
it's nonsense.
Gave me like a packet to do like every day, and you're like, I've got other classes, I'm glad you're the only teacher in class I have. But I had to do that, so the book report kind of was pushed off and off and off, and I procrastinate anyway. I'm bad about that. So I ended up like just skimming stuff. I was like, oh, that sounds like it's important. I better write it down and include that in the book report. So they think I read the whole book and I know what the hell I'm talking about. I winged it, basically. And I was like, I don't know how this connects with this. I better make up something that sounds Tolkien. Oh, the egos came. Shit, how'd they come? I'm like, how does that connect with every other character? Now, like, nowadays, it's easy, because they have adaptations of almost every book now, even if it's, like, The Hobbit. Yeah, and they have cliff notes. You can go on the internet and just briefly read a synopsis of books.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I do that sometimes on Wikipedia, even with movies and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But especially when I went to school, and I don't know how it was with you because you're a little younger than I am, but it was very primitive with, like, the internet.
Mm-hmm.
So we did have it, but it was like you couldn't really rely on it for information. So we had to, like, actually read. It sucked. And we had to use the library, and it's like, I don't know where the hell this book is. So it was interesting times. How was it like when you went to school?
I read the books. There was a few books I had to, like, really get myself through. Like, I could not finish of Mice and Men. And that's, like, a good
like
one.
that book. Yeah,
but I could not get through it. I don't know what it was. Maybe it was my age at the time.
That was a good one.
But,
it was also a good movie, so.
Yeah, I didn't completely read The Great Gatsby either, but.
Also a good movie.
Yeah, I saw the movie and I enjoyed that. I really.
F. Scott Fitzgerald. That's what's up.
There was one book when I left Stockbridge. I was in the middle of reading, but I had to return it to the library. It was called Glass Castle. And to this day, I still want to find that book, buy it, and finish it.
What's it about?
It was, like, about this family who, like, basically are kind of drifters. And I remember something like the mom, when she's pregnant, she always has her kids, like, it's like 10-month pregnancy, and the doctors always tell her to, like, come deliver, but she lets them come on their own. Like, these are just little details. But I know, like, the dad was always promising a glass castle, and they had a rough life, and that's kind of what I remembered. I just remember being really into it. That's a book I think I'm gonna.
Well, I
recommend it.
You stay on this YouTube channel, I will promise you a Glass Castle.
Yeah.
Because
I'll definitely be waiting.
Probably. You never know, though.
Yeah, there's actually a book that I was reading. I've been reading 2 books. 1989 by George Orwell, and then The Light That Was Dark by Warren Smith. My aunt recommended that to me because of a friend who's into Buddhism, and it basically it's an account by Warren of his journey into Buddhism and journey out of it. And so that's a pretty interesting
I like
story.
the idea of Buddhism, which it's kind of interesting to me, but I don't, like, as far as a religion, I'm not,
Yeah, he came out of it into Christianity.
I'm not 100%, like, sold on any particular religion. I'm not putting down any religions at all.
Okay.
It's just more like, I'm still kind of finding myself, I guess. And I would lean definitely a lot more towards Christianity. I mean, I grew up that way, and a lot of the concepts and ideas kind of line up more with my thinking. But I still don't necessarily like to lump myself in, because I don't really go to church, and I don't adhere to everything.
You don't know until you know. Like, when you make a decision, it'll be very clear to you when you figure out what, like, the truth is.
And I don't like to, like, label myself, especially if I'm not, like, 100% committed. Because even though I would, if someone asked me this, if they said I had to pick one, I would pick Christianity. But until then, I'll kind of stay on the fences a little bit. But any other interesting books you've read lately?
Not lately. Well,
I don't know.
I'm still working on 1989 and that other book called The Light That Was Dark. But.
I like to read a lot of, like, when I do read, I read, I'm going to sound like a nut job, but I read a lot of, like, UFO books and
That's cool. What's your interest?
And it's not necessarily that I believe a lot of that, it's just, I find a lot of the stories interesting. And even, there are cases where I'll read and you're like, this guy is a nut job. But then again, it kind of plays in the psychology, and I find some of that interesting as well. So, those are kind of, like, I don't know if you can see, but I have a Weird Michigan book.
Yep.
And I just like different paranormal stuff. That's kind of my wheelhouse, I guess.
That's cool.
So, that's basically what I read. Fantasy here and there, and different odd stories.
That's what's up.
That is what's up. So I think we're going to wrap up this episode of Deskies, though. And Yeah. Any final thoughts?
Nope.
Wear pants. That's his final thought.
Yeah, please.
No one wants to
Pants,
see that.
not leggings.
Yeah, no one wants.
Peace.
Or yoga pants. Those
Yeah.
aren't pants. You know.
They are if you're at home. Like, that's cool. That's totally fine. But when you're out, you never know when the zombies gonna start running at you, and they're gonna rip your pants off so quick. If you're you're not gonna be able to run through the woods because you're in these dang leggings. You're gonna get pants by a tree while you're trying to. You know, there's so many variables. You should just wear pants. It protects your skin.
Here's the thing.
And if you're wearing the right size pants, they will feel just as good as any pair of leggings.
That's true. Here's my thoughts on the subject, and this got way off subject, but
We're just cut it.
yeah,
Then.
no, we're leaving it.
Yeah. Okay.
If I can see your ass and your vagina or penis, depending on if you're wearing tight jeans or leggings.
I had a male friend who wore leggings.
If I can see your genitals and your ass, you've already shown me way too much. I don't even care if I find you attractive.
Mm-hmm.
Even if I find you attractive, that's something I want to experience personally.
Yeah, you're showing it to the whole world, which
yeah.
is like making you value yourself less by being like, well, it's whatever, I'm just comfortable.
I wanna unwrap that
everyone
myself.
says, I'm just comfortable.
Yeah, I hear that a lot. It's like, it's for comfort, which is fine if you're wearing it around the house.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine. But if you're going out and I can see what your ass looks like exactly, that's disturbing. And there's guys too, I've seen that. And you're like, no.
And like,
No.
they make sweatpants that aren't like that. I don't know.
Yeah, if you want to, I have.
It doesn't have to be form-fitting tight. Like,
Yeah, you can wear pajamas.
Psychos.
That's nice feeling.
Yeah.
And I don't get to see everything. It leaves something for the imagination.
I know. People always gotta be like, oh, you're hating. You look really bad in them. You're ugly.
And we're going to write a book on this
I would
subject.
stand up and show you my butt, but that would be completely besides the point and against what I'm talking about. So I was gonna call out the ones that are gonna say like that I'm ugly or have like, you know. That's not the case. I just have respect.
Respect.
And I have a little bit of like self-worth, I guess.
Respect for your butt.
Yep.
I respect my
Cover
butt
your
as
butt.
well.
Wear a sweater. Wear a long sweater.
And how this relates to our subject, we were writing a book on the subject.
Yes.
We just decided to do it.
Expect it in bookstores spring next year.
It's going to be called Your Butt Needs to Button Up.
I like it. We really should go through. We
High
should
five.
follow through with that.
I just came up with that on the spot. That's what's up.
All right.
All right. Take care.
Later.
Later.